Greetings, true believers, and welcome to another spectacular episode of History of the Marvel Universe. From the day he was born, the man known as Blade has been involved in the world of the supernatural. His biological father, Lucas Cross, was a member of the Order of Tirana, a secret society in Latveria who opposed the rule of King Vladimir Fortunov. Before he was arrested by Latverian authorities, Lucas sent his pregnant wife to England, where Madame Vanity, a fellow member of the Order, would protect her. Tara Cross stayed at Madame Vanity's brothel, posing as one of the sex workers, using the pseudonym Vanessa Brooks. However, when she went into labor, complications arose, threatening the lives of the young mother and her child. The women of the brothel were desperate to find a doctor who would agree to come to them, and finally a man named Deacon Frost agreed to help. Unfortunately, Frost was in truth an undead creature of the night, a vampire who took this opportunity to feed on the dying young woman. Upon being discovered, the opportunistic vampire escaped through the window and disappeared into the night. The woman known as Vanessa Brooks died, but her son Eric survived, having been changed forever by this event. Eric Brooks had been born a Dhampir, a partial vampire, making him immune to the corrupting effects of a vampire's bite. He was then raised by Madame Vanity, and even came to call her mom. However, the boy grew up hearing whispers of the creature who killed his real mother. Then, when he was 9 years old, young Eric came upon an old man being attacked by vampires. The boy dove in to help, but the man, it turns out, was a vampire hunter named Jamal Afari. A homeless trumpeter, Afari moved into Madame Vanity's brothel and began tutoring Eric both in music and in the ways of the vampire slayer. He also told the boy tales of his exploits, including how he had come up against Dracula, the lord of the vampires, and survived. Sometime later, Eric came across a crazed man seemingly attacking an innocent woman. He assumed the attacker was a vampire and staked him through the heart, killing him instantly. But Eric was wrong. With a human man dead, Madame Vanity sent Eric to America to stay with another sect of the Order of Tirana for protection. However, this particular group had become a street gang known as the Blood Shadows, under the command of their leader, Cyrus Cutter. During his time with the Blood Shadows, Eric grew close to a woman named Glory, but Glory belonged to Cutter, and he was the kind of man who felt he could do whatever he wanted with her. This, of course, eventually led to a confrontation between Eric and Cyrus Cutter. A confrontation that ended with the younger man killing the corrupt leader and taking control of the Blood Shadows. With his new gang, Eric Brooks returned to London to continue his war on the undead. However, at one point, a battle with a vampire named Lamia went poorly, and the Blood Shadows were decimated, with only Eric surviving. Furthermore, when Eric next encountered Jamal Afari, he found that while he was gone, the vampire lord Dracula had tracked down his old mentor and converted him to his legion of the undead. Eric had little choice but to use his skills to destroy his own teacher. This, of course, put Eric on a path of vengeance against Dracula. In his quest to hunt down the Lord of the Vampires, Eric Brooks joined forces with 4 other vampire slayers: Ogun, Azu, Musenda, and Orgy. It was Orgy who gave Eric the nickname Blade, due to his skill with knives and bladed weapons. This team of hunters ambushed their target and drove a wooden stake into his heart. However, unlike most vampires, Dracula is notoriously difficult to permanently kill, and was soon resurrected by his servants. When next they fought, it was Count Dracula who got the drop on the team of vampire hunters. At the end of that battle, only Eric survived. In the aftermath, Eric Brooks took a memento from each of the 4 hunters. With these items, along with the glasses he inherited from Jamal, he fully adopted the identity of Blade, the Vampire Killer. In the years that followed, Blade has battled with many undead creatures, including rematches with Dracula, his mother's killer, Deacon Frost, and Morbius, the living vampire. It was during a battle with the latter that Blade received a bite which permanently altered his physiology. While he was immune to the effects of supernatural vampire bites, Morbius's unique form of pseudo-vampirism affected Blade, unlocking his latent vampiric powers. He became a daywalker, possessing the powers and strength of a vampire without the weaknesses or aversion to sunlight. He did gain a need to consume blood to survive, but has found ways of sating his hunger without feeding on mortal humans. Blade has used his powers and skills to continue his war on the undead and his never-ending feud with Dracula. And that, my friends, is the origin of Blade, the Vampire Hunter. But thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, and share it on your favorite social media. Special thanks to the Patreon supporters who help make this possible, and as always, the issues referenced in this video are listed in the description below if you would like to read them for yourself, as well as links to other places you can find me. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior!